The weight of pixels. How digital scarcity shapes the value of the human form. Why does a hand-carved marble statue feel sacred, while a million-pixel image feels disposable? It is not a simple question about taste. It is a question about weight. Not physical weight, but perceived permanence. And in the digital age, that weight has nearly vanished. For most of human history, images were rare. To create a human likeness required time, skill, and material resistance. Stone had to be cut. Metal had to be melted. Paint had to be mixed, layered, and preserved. Every representation of the human form carried effort within it. And effort created value. Not just economic value, but psychological gravity. Consider Michelangelo's David. It is not just a sculpture. It is a record of labor, risk, and irreversible transformation. A single mistake in carving marble could not be undone. The material itself resisted creation. And that resistance became part of the artwork's meaning. The figure feels important not only because of what it depicts, but because of what it took to make it exist. Now contrast that with the modern digital image. A portrait generated in seconds. Copied endlessly. Shared infinitely. Modified without degradation. In this environment, the human form becomes weightless. Not physically, but symbolically. Digital imagery has removed scarcity from representation. And with scarcity gone, a strange shift occurs. Attention becomes the new value system. What is rare is seen as important. What is abundant is seen as ordinary. And what is infinite risks becoming invisible. This is the paradox of pixels. A digital image can be flawless. It can be high resolution. It can be visually striking. But it lacks the friction of creation that once anchored meaning to material art. There is no resistance in generation. No physical cost embedded in the final form. Only reproduction. This is why platforms feel overwhelming. They are not just archives of images. They are environments of saturation. Millions of human faces. Millions of bodies. Millions of expressions. All existing at once. All competing for attention. All dissolving into a continuous stream. In such a system, the human form begins to lose distinction. Not because it is less meaningful, but because it is no longer rare. And rarity has always played a hidden role in how we assign value to visual culture. What is difficult to produce becomes sacred. What is easy to reproduce becomes background. This creates a tension between intention and distribution. An artist may create an image with care, symbolism, and emotional depth. But once released into a digital ecosystem, that image becomes part of an infinite flow. It can be copied, reshared, and detached from its original context within seconds. Meaning becomes fluid, ownership becomes blurred, permanence becomes uncertain. In contrast, physical art resists this dissolution. A sculpture remains in a single location. A painting exists in a specific material state. Even reproduction cannot fully replace the presence of the original object. There is always a first body of the work, a singular anchor in space and time. Digital art has no such anchor. It exists as data, and data, by its nature, is weightless. It does not decay in the same way. It does not age. It does not resist duplication. It spreads instead of settling. This is where the concept of digital scarcity becomes important. Platforms attempt to reintroduce value through limitation. Views, likes, algorithmic reach, exclusivity, trending cycles. But these are not material constraints. They are perceptual ones, designed not to limit existence, but to control visibility. So we arrive at a new question. If everything can be reproduced infinitely, what makes anything feel significant? Is it the object itself? Or the conditions under which we encounter it? In the age of infinite images, scarcity is no longer physical. It is algorithmic. What we see is not determined by what exists, but by what is allowed to appear. And that shift changes everything about how we understand visual value. Because the weight of pixels is not measured in material force. It is measured in attention. And in a world where attention is constantly divided, even the most powerful image risks becoming weightless. Unless something resists its disappearance. Unless something makes it feel rare again. And perhaps that is the real transformation of our time. Not the end of artistic meaning, but the relocation of its weight. From stone to screen, and from permanence to perception.